Alec Tackmann here again. Go and Practice, Book 3. We're looking at page 16 and 17. So this will be Inverted Paradiddles, Part 3 and 4. So 3 main ideas happening on these pages I just want to demonstrate. Start with number 1 and number 2. So these ones are going to kind of take the idea from the last video about how a paradiddle, or an inverted paradiddle, the term, well, I guess any paradiddle, is just a string of singles and doubles happening in a row. It's not necessarily one sticking pattern over and over. So the moral of the story here is it's good to mix and match these ideas and not just get stuck on one pattern over and over, because you kind of want to, I think it's a good idea to try to blur the line between your licks so it doesn't sound like you're just doing, you know, you've got your 2 bags of tricks or whatever you pull from and that's what you use all the time. I mean, like, pretty much any drummer, no matter how good they are, if you watch them long enough, they're going to repeat something. They're going to have their stuff they like to do. But you don't want to just make it sound like, oh, there's their lick that they're always doing. So numbers 1 and 2 are a good way to kind of break that up a little bit. So what we have with number 1 is the first 2 beats are inverted paradiddle like we had been working through, but on beat 3 we just throw in a standard one to give us an accent on the E of the beat, to change it up a little bit. So we have bump, ba-bump, ba-bum, bump. That's kind of the rhythm we want to hear. Bump, ba-bump, ba-bum, bump, bump, ba-bum, ba-bum, bump. So I'll just try playing it real slow. First I'll play it with a hi-hat tight. I mean, either way works. But here's the slow pattern. And this one, I got this one from, I studied with Terry Lynn Carrington for about a year, and her whole thing was, like I was just talking about earlier, is try to avoid licks, try to avoid sounding like you're playing licks. And a great exercise she gave me was, it was a way to actually take page 38 of syncopation and morph it into a sticking exercise, kind of like stick control. And I think that's where this one kind of came from. Is getting the ability to highlight certain accents within your paradiddles, which is a tricky concept to get used to. But anyway, that being said, here's a couple licks you can take, and hopefully morph them into kind of your own thing, blend them with any other stuff you're playing. So number 1, this one also works well with an open hi-hat. It would feel like that would not be the case, but it kind of loosens it up a little bit. And I actually sometimes I like to play this still hitting the hi-hat, even though I'm playing like splash quarter notes with my left foot. So I'll be going like, and you don't have to do the foot splash, so you can just leave it normal too. That works. But anyway, that one works great. Another good jazz fill. It doesn't, again, it's straight 16th notes, but it still works in jazz. You don't have to just play triplets all the time for your jazz. Number 2 is the same idea. We're just going to hit the rack tom instead of the hi-hat. Same business on that one. Again, you can just take that pattern and throw it at whatever surfaces you want, but that's a cool little smooth sounding straight 16th note thing that works well for jazz settings. All right, now page 16, number 3 and 4. This one we're gonna do basically a double stroke across 2 different surfaces. So if you're in like a drumline setting, you probably have heard this one referred to as like a sweep, or sometimes they call it a scrape. It can be between 20 drums, but for this one it's going to go from the ride cymbal to the floor tom. So the nice thing about this is like you're literally going down a step, so the bounce works to your advantage this way. So first thing would just be getting the hang of that if you've never done it before. be able to hit those with both hands. Just any kind of scrape. You can even just take like double strokes to start off with and say, okay, I'm going to put just the first beat on the rack tom. Change up the direction. So I'm going right to left, now try to go left to right. Okay, getting close to what we're going to do with number 3 is we got to get to the cymbals now. Those are good to match up with the bass drum again, of course. So now we have this. Alright, so that motion, right cymbal to floor tom, we're going to match that up with some of the right, left foot stuff we've been doing. And the trick here is on beat 2, you're going to flam, a left flam, meaning the right cymbal is now the grace note, so it's going to be this, not this. So the cymbal's the grace note. The left hand is the primary stroke, so we still want to, we're doing that so we can still get the backbeat of it. We still have a hard 2 and 4 happening in this. So this is beat 2, and then we got to drop this grace note down to here for the E of the beat. After that, we're just gonna have a double stroke on the snare drum. So here's 2 E and A. Now you can put whatever you want in front of that, but what I like to do is like I said before, the right, left foot idea. We're going to put this in front of it. Piece it all together, we got this. The other way to mess with this one is take the sweep or the scrape, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to go the other direction. We're going to go here to here now. So now the flam is grace note on the floor tom, main note on the snare drum. We're going to here now, so the crash is on the E of the beat. So that's 2 E and now we end up with this. Mix and match the two of them. Our right hand is now going to have this direction or that direction. So anyway, there's the two of them mix and match. Again, you know, biff that a little bit, but you get the gist of it. This one, I like to mix this one up with any of the 16th note related stuff we do so far. This one I'd say works well to repeat it over and over because it sounds like a beat a little bit, and I'll even use it sometimes during a beat as a fill. So like say I'm playing. like you want to throw something in there, but you want to keep the beat going when it's up tempo like that. So this one works well for that. So anyway, that's 3 and 4. If we go on to page 17, 3 and 4 on this page. So 3 and 4, page 17. This is kind of a cool idea. It's a 3 over 4 pattern again. This one's definitely a little more on the jazzy side. It might even be safest to do this during a free solo where you don't have to worry about the time. But if you plant the main accents in it in the correct spots, it works out. So the pattern is we're going to take an inverted paradiddle. We're going to do right, left, left, right, going cymbal, snare, snare, floor tom. Finishing it on the snare drum, and then we're going to end on this guy. So we have that one's all about how much you can get that double stroke in there again. So yeah, another 3/4 idea. Drop it into 4/4 time. Just keep track of where you're at. But yeah, that's really it. So there's page 16 and 17. The rest of the exercises on this page are just kind of variations of those. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the book, pick up a copy on Amazon. Got any questions about it, let me know. Send me a note. But that's Go and Practice, Book 3. Thanks for watching.